Hey guys, it's me Reem from Authentic Excellence. In this video I'm gonna discuss with you a little concept. I call it and thinking. It's actually the opposite of either or thinking, and I will illustrate this quickly with some examples to get really clear what I'm talking about. The first example, let's say that you as a new habit, you want to quit alcohol drinking. So let's say you have a habit where you drink several times alone, 1, 2, maybe more bottles of beer or something like that, and you just want to quit it, but you're also thinking sometimes I'm just having these meetings with some friends, and I also then want to make an exception. But if I make an exception, I'm all the time in a gray area, like I drink too much and I have no limit, and it's just like, okay, what can I do with this, Well, in such a case, something that has worked for me, I wasn't at home drinking a lot, actually no, but the thing is, what I wanted to do with alcohol when I'm now also in the gym, more training, it's like, okay, I want to not exclude it totally. I don't believe in these 100% restrictive kind of things I have experienced in my life with my behavior, that if you fully restrict on something, it wants to be expressed, and it can come out in very weird, unbalanced ways. So how I have it for myself now is with alcohol is like this. I basically don't drink except for maximum 1 day a week if I'm in company, and then I'll only drink 1 and maybe 2 glasses of red wine. That's very simple. So if I'm at home and I feel the urge to drink anything, I simply don't do it, and I can relax in that thought, because I know, like, okay, if I really have that craving and I want to, well, if I'm in company, that kind of things, I can. So it's also stimulating to be more in those environments. There is a positive pull in that. This is something that really works for me, and I call it and thinking, because it's you can also say it's a balance, but it's both of them. You can and drink and don't drink. It's a combination. So that helps me instead of fully restricting something. The second one is planning. I've been living many years abroad now. I can plan my whole day. With work I'm flexible, and some other things I can just basically schedule my own day, and I love that freedom, so it's freedom. But on the other side, also when it comes to the gym, you need to have a certain routine, a certain discipline. I see that as the opposite to freedom, like, okay, every day or every non-weekend day I go do this. So how do you combine that? Freedom and discipline. So structure and no structure. Well, I structure the morning. That's how I do it. Structure the morning. Very structured, with some exercise, some scheduled work. And if it takes longer, of course, it's also fine. It takes longer. But the thing is, I know that if I finish these things that I want to finish on that day, I have already the feeling of, yes, I worked structurally. I have accomplished the things that are important for me on these areas. And the rest of the day, I have that freedom, So that's another example of and thinking. A third example, it's also an interesting one. I've experienced it with, for example, online dating. My opinion is that this online dating is an escape from reality. It's a distraction. It's a very superficial, especially this Tinder I'm talking about, very superficially, like swiping left, right, a little bit of chatting, I think that as a man nowadays, you're quite wasting your time if you're on the online dating stuff too much. So that's kind of my opinion. But on the other side, I know it's relatively easy also when you're not in an environment all the time. Let's say you're busy, or you're working or doing some other things, working on other projects, you don't really have the time to go and meet and things, or maybe you have some fears or some other things that are blocking you, which is fine, but you still want to. So the basic idea is that you don't want to spend too much time on these things, looking at a screen and typing, and you know. But on the other side, maybe you wanna have the experience with some dating. You know, you wanna date some, you wanna meet some people, you wanna date some, you have set up some dates. So how do you combine that? Well, what I did is I hired like a person, like a virtual assistant, to have these initial conversations. And it sounds very weird and strange, but my experience so far is if you just instruct someone with some questions. She also had, I found it in Fiverr it was, for a few dollars, you know. First of all, a little intake, second some conversations and a bit of the writing style and things, and it serves the purpose of getting those dates, you know. What I then do personally also is when I have these kind of dates, I'll tell people about it, and I prefer to tell it on the date, since I have a chance to fully with my body language and stuff to explain why I have that I don't like these screens and stuff. And the experience is that almost everyone, yeah, kind of resonates with that and is okay with that, you know. So that's another example of the end-to-end thinking. So to wrap it up, first example was with the alcohol, on certain occasions and certain amounts, and still limited. The second one was the day planning, just strictly planning in the morning, if needed more. And the last one was the Tinder, so you can still have a little bit of those dates without doing all the digital work that is taking you out of life. Because for me personally, I'm developing myself right now in these, as you know, in these social things, and I already had done that a lot, and I just want to spend my time there, you know, not on a screen. So these are some examples, guys. If you're struggling with something in life, let's say you want to start a business, you don't know how and how long and how much, like should I quit my job, should I not quit my job, those kind of decisions, try to use this end-to-end thinking. Maybe you can do and your job and start a business. Do it part-time, maybe with a relationship. Oh yeah, you want to make a change, you know. Should I see this girl or should I not see her? Well, think about this end-to-end thinking again. Maybe you can see her in certain ways, you know. It's but by just accessing this concept and then think about an issue you have, it can be a way to find a good solution for that. And for me, it feels that it's not making a compromise. That's also something very important to mention. I have the idea that I'm not compromising, because I see as a compromise something like, okay, I want to get these 10, let's say, benefits, but yeah, with this compromise I'm okay with getting 7. That's not a full win in a way. For me, this end thinking is both full wins. So that's another way to look at this. Okay guys, I hope this is of any value. Let me know. Like the video, leave comments, subscribe to the channel, get the notifications also on if you like. See you on the next one, guys.